Welcome everybody to another episode. This year in 2023, we're breaking down different sections of the Bible. We're kicking off the year with the Torah, and we're still going strong. This Torah, I would not be surprised if we're here the whole year, but we're still in the book of Genesis, where we went through the creation story. We went through the story of Noah. We went through the story of Abraham, leading up to where we at now, Jacob. So
Isaac.
Yeah, so we're up to Isaac, and now we're getting up to Jacob. So when you hear throughout the Old Testament, oftentimes they have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob because they were the patriarchs of the lineage, that the blessed nation of Israel. And so we're going to get right into Israel himself, Jacob. All right.
I'm going to do most of the talking tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But we are we going down the descendants of Abraham, like you said. There was Isaac, two sons we'll talk about tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and with his wife Rachel, right?
No.
Rebecca. We're gonna get it right. Sorry.
Yeah, let's get that recap. So we ended with the story of sacrifice, and then through that story there was another, which was the blessed son. Even both sons were the firstborn, but he wasn't the promised child. However, he was still the blessed child. So everyone that came to Abraham was blessed. We went into the description of what their lineage would unfold into. And then when Abraham took his son up to the mountain and sacrificed him. And so we have not yet gotten into the adult version of Isaac yet. But we were, as we're saying, we read through the Bible, skim through. We want to highlight the most important sections of it, even though the entire Bible is important. But we just wanted to give you guys like the more meatier part, can digest it and have it be fruit for your body.
His wife was Rebecca.
What was Rebecca? See, that's why in check. Yeah, there were a lot of Marys and a lot of R names in the Bible. I'm come to find. If you want to do the
yes. So now we're into Isaac. He has they were twins, and even in the womb of they were fighting and trying to get out. So the first was Esau, Jacob,
right,
and Jacob was holding Esau's foot as birth and giving birth to twins. Just like normally there's a gap between, but this one he was attached to his brother. So as he came out of the womb, he was holding on to his brother, which they were each other the whole time.
Yep, the whole story was a battle. We get to kind of like a depiction of that, found on that, but we're going to go right into, or we're going to fast forward now to as they get older. So you have the premise of the birth and leading to their story of how they've always been put at throughout their whole here.
I was just going to say, because of this part that you're about to read about Rebecca, her favorite was Jacob, and Isaac's favorite son was Esau.
Right.
Yes.
And so it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. And he said, Behold, and know not the day of my death. Now, therefore, take, I pray thee, thy weapon and quiver go out to the field and take me some venison and make me a savory meat such as I love and bring it to me and I may eat it, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard what Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau to hunt for venison and bring it to and to bring it. And Rebekah spake to Jacob. Remember, my wife was saying about how Jacob was Isaac's favorite. So Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau to hunt for venison and Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Make me a savory meat, I may eat and bless thee before my death. Now therefore obey my voice according to that which I commanded thee. Go and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goat, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. Bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. And my father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and his mother on me, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice then. So even she loved him so much that she would say, if you will be cursed, let that curse fall upon me. So you can what really happened in that household with Esau that made the mom act like that, because they were twins at the end of the day. So verse 15, and Rebekah took a goodly raiment and her eldest son Esau, which them upon Jacob her younger son, and she put the skin upon his hand and upon the smooth meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Where art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy born, and I have done according to thou arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, and that thy soul may be blessed. And Isaac said unto us, Thou hast found it so quickly, my son. And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come here, I pray thee, I may feel thee, whether thou son Esau or not. And Jacob went near and he felt him, and he said, Thy voice is Jacob's voice, but thy hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine and drank it. And his father said to him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of the raiment, and he blessed him. He said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field, therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to be Lord over thy brethren. Son, bow down to thee. Cursed be every man that he that blesseth thee. Now, before we continue, another thing that we missed or we should have highlighted was the fact that Jacob in itself, the only thing was he never wanted to see, which is why his mother stepped on me. So whatever the major plan was led to everything that transpires after this. And so read the stolen blessing where Esau actually confronts his brother Jacob. And it came to, you want to add anything there? And if you know that, because Isaac was blind, he still had a sense of who his son was, because he um, smelt the part and felt the part. Isaac couldn't really differentiate between it, but he knew his voice. He knew he was able to go forth and deceive his own father. So he could, and so now we're at verse 30, where it says, "And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat and brought it to his father, and said unto him, Father, let my father arise and eat of the venison, that thy soul may be blessed. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very excitingly and said, where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And of all before thou camest and have blessed, yea, and he shall be blessed. And even heard the words of his father, he cried with great cry and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety and hath taken away thy blessing. And he rightly named Jacob, for he hath supplanted me these 2 times. And he took away my birthright, taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou, my father, blessed me, even me also, O my father? And Esau voice and wept, and unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it came to pass that when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brethren Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau has touched thee, don't confront himself, pursuing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise, flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran. You want to stop there? Oh, we're almost done. And tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away, until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and you forget that which thou hast done to him. And I will send and fetch thee, which thence, why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said unto Isaac, I am weary in my life because of my daughters of Heath. Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heath, such as these, which are the daughters of the land. What good shall my life do for me? What good shall my life do for me? So that's a lot to unpack in that part right there. But what I was thinking, the generation before them, everyone shall be blessed that came from Abraham. And then you have that discord between Isaac and Ishmael, chosen people, the lineage that led to Jesus Christ, and all of that led essentially to the body of Christ. Is reason to believe that Ishmael, with the same blessing, the same nation of great power, led down to the Islamic nation. Um, nations that are all, and those two nations are kind of at what's in with each other. And you have Jacob, the 12 tribes, and Esau, who are part of the lineage, part of the blessed. That you have separation there. It's like what we're facing today. We have enemies, or we have separation within the body of Christ and other religions, but then in the body of Christ, have so much separation and deception and disagreements, and they all started here in Genesis. Did you want to go?
Well, I was gonna go a little bit of a different way.
No, I was done with that part. So.
Okay, about how the part that we didn't read was how Jacob birthright when Esau was hungry and Jacob had food, and Esau begged him for food, and that's when he gave up his birthright out of hunger. And so, I mean, great deceiver, but he definitely did take what he wanted. He took what he wanted. Mother helped him with the major opportunity of the blessing, but he took what he wanted. And as we go along, even more in Jacob's story, there's a certain point where he with the angel at a different time, but Jacob knew from him from jump, from the baby, since he was a baby, what he wanted to be the firstborn. So for me, when I think of Jacob and what he didn't come up necessarily with the deception of his father, that was his mom doing, that came up, but he just was in every opportunity taking those things, and it ended up benefiting him in the long run. And then with Esau, he was still blessed. He was in the same blessing that God gave to Ishmael. It was given to Esau, that he was going to fight, take sword.
And fun fact, even though it's a mythological story in its own right, story, if you're familiar with Loki and Thor, where Loki, the deceiver, the trickster, and he even tricked his way into the throne, was deceased. And now a lot of parallels here. Just a little fun fact there. If you want to kind of put a visualization to the story here. But the other in this story was that Jacob worked smarter, not harder, and it's kind of sad to see and work hard, and Jacob used that to his, because he can get over, like it's like my wife pointed out the part about still diligently work yourself up to a hunger, and Esau was like, you know what, I got this. He knew how to work a deal. He knew how to take advantage. And again, we're going to get more into what of his lineage and his family, but it just made me think of even back then how how that dynamic of two kids growing up in the same household, they're twins, being older by, like, they it seemed like he was older by so much more, but he was older by seconds, really. Even though he was still the oldest. It's amazing just to see how they put these two twins against each other, or how their story unfolds. Really.
Yeah, it's one of the greater stories. And then even later on, because that's why, but Esau is, after that, when they sent them out, Rachel didn't, or Rebecca, and of the women of Canaan. So she convinced Isaac to send him out, and that's what he did. And Esau heard the same thing and saw that the women of Canaan, Isaac didn't like out, and actually wed of Ishmael. So the inch down the line, he's still connected with Ishmael and Esau were connected. Um, Esau lived in the mountains, ever waiting for the opportunity to go against his brother. And
yeah, just trying to share it here. Why is it not allowing me to share it?
no.
But as for joining in with us on tonight, I love the story of Jacob. I believe next week we're going to his name change to Israel. But in the meantime, read the next chapter for what we're doing. We're already up to chapter 28 in Genesis, up to chapter 31. I believe that's where kind of really unpack the full story of Jacob going into his sons, and then leading to Joseph. So I like the story of Joseph.
For the past 2 weeks, he's been asking about Joseph.
Past 4 weeks.
I don't know how many weeks, but he kept on. Are we going to talk about Joseph? We're going to talk about Joseph before Joseph.
Yeah, it is. It's a long lineage. But as always, if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out. goteverything.inc@gmail.com. And if you know interested in joining a community of like-minded individuals, I'm kicking off a new men's group called Network, and we're going to be encouraging whoever join up. It's going to be really good. It's going to be fruitful, and you'll be able to fellowship with other individuals. And so drop that information below here. Community that's about upbuilding and learning ways to upbuild your family, upbuild your community.
You'll put that episode down.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna post that. So be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna post it on all the that we have.
All right. Well, thanks on this Bible study. We look forward to seeing you next week.
All right. Blessings.
Blessings. Have a good evening.